Hey everybody, my name is Lottie and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be talking you through my Asian Readathon TBR. So the Asian Readathon was created by Cindy from the channel withcindy to celebrate reading books by Asian authors and featuring Asian characters. The readathon takes place between May 1st and May 31st, so it's a month-long readathon because May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Obviously I'm from the UK, we don't really celebrate this Heritage Month where I'm from, but I was doing a little bit of research and I did find out that as of last year we do have a South Asian Heritage Month which takes place from the 18th of July to the 17th of August. If you want to know a little bit more about South Asian Heritage Month in the UK, I have a link in the description to a fantastic article that I found just talking about how they put on South Asian Heritage Month and what a success it was. So for the Asian Readathon there are a few prompts to sort of inspire you to pick up Asian books, which I'm going to read through first, and then I have a load of books that I plan to read during the month. I don't know if I'll get through all of them, and I'm not only going to be reading these books, so I'm a very big mood reader, so if I want to pick up something else I will, but I will be prioritising all of these books that I'm talking about in this video. So there are 5 prompts for the Asian Readathon, and the twist this year is that each book that you read needs to be from a different Asian ethnicity. So for example, you could read one book to fulfill 3 prompts, but if you read a second book to fulfill the last 2 prompts, it would have to be from a different ethnicity author. So for example, you could read a book by a Japanese author and then you have to read a book by a non-Japanese author. So the 5 prompts for this year's Asian Readathon are really simple. So the first one is to just read any book by an Asian author. The second prompt is to read a book featuring an Asian protagonist. The third prompt is to read a book by an Asian author in your favourite genre. The fourth prompt is to read a non-fiction book by an Asian author. And finally, the last prompt is to read a book written by an Asian author but is not US centric. So for this readathon, I wanted to try and get through a lot of my own TBR as well as try new authors and read new books. So I've also got a bunch of books that I've checked out from my library. Like I said, I'm not planning to read all of these books this month. Some of them won't fit the prompts because they're by like the same ethnicity author, for example. A couple of them are quite long, and like I said, I have other books that I might want to get to in the month, but I will be prioritising these ones. So let's just jump straight into the books that I am planning to read. So my first book is Readathon by Ahideh. Renee Ahideh is a Korean American author, and also this book is based on 1001 Nights, which is an Arabian like fable. I think this is also a part of my These Books Will Self-Destruct in 12 Months challenge, so this is one that I really ought to try and prioritise. This book follows Khalid, who is the Caliph of Khorasan. He takes a new bride every night and kills her. 16-year-old Jarasad volunteers to marry him to take revenge because he killed her friend and the countless other girls, but the catch is she might be falling in love with him. So this is a book that I've owned for a really long time. I am quite interested to read it. I've just been putting it off for a while, so maybe I'll finally get to it in May. So this next one is a book that I've acquired quite recently, and it is The Infinity Courts by Akemi Bowman. The author of this is Japanese American. It also features a Japanese main character. This is a young adult sci-fi / fantasy novel. Follows Nami Miyamoto, who is killed on her way to a party and she ends up in Infinity, which is the place where souls go when they die. Sort of a bit like a server, I think. There's an AI that's posing as a queen who's forcing humans into servitude, and its plan is to like eradicate humankind once and for all. So I'm assuming Nami has to stop that. Really interested by this one, really hoping that I can get to it this month. So the next book on my TBR is Royale by Koushun Takami. This is a Japanese translated work by a Japanese author, so this would fulfill the prompt to read a book that's non-US centric. Royale is a pretty famous book. It's sort of like the blueprint for the Hunger Games. Follows a bunch of high school students who have been put on this island and they have to fight to the death to survive and be the winner. I'm really interested by this one. I've been wanting to read it for such a long time. I only recently acquired it though. It is quite chunky though. It's about 650 pages, so I don't know if I'll get to this one this month, but maybe I should prioritise it because it's one that I'm really expecting to love. The last of my pre-owned TBR is Front Desk by Kelly Yang. Kelly Yang is a Hong Konger American author, and this also features a Chinese main character. It's a middle grade contemporary following Mia Tang. The blurb is pretty brief. It just says that Mia has a lot of secrets. 1, she lives in a motel, not a big house. 2, her parents hide immigrants. And 3, she wants to be a writer. It will take all of Mia's courage, kindness and hard work to get her through this year. Will she be able to go through her dreams? I'm really excited by this one. I really loved Kelly Yang's young adult debut, which was Parachutes. I read that late last year. I'm really expecting to love this one, so I hope I get to it. I lied, I actually have one more book on my own TBR, but I always forget about it because I have it on my Kindle, and that's Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. He is a Singaporean American author, and I think this book features mainly Chinese characters. I don't actually know a lot about what this book is about, but I've heard quite a lot about it. It got a pretty big movie a few years ago. I got it on my Prime reading downloads, which is why I've had it, but I haven't gotten to it yet. I think it's quite long though, so I do have one book on order. I know I'm supposed to be on a book buying ban, but I was looking at the list of a bunch of different books that's been put together for this readathon. When I saw the synopsis for this book, I was just like, I really do want to read it, so I'm going to put it on order and hopefully it'll get here in time. The book is Once Upon an Eid, which is a collection of short stories written by 12 different Asian authors. It's edited by SK Ali and Aisha Saeed. If you couldn't already guess from the title, these short stories are all about Eid. When I heard the concept of it, I was really interested about it because I don't know a lot about Eid, so I think it'd be really fun to learn more about Eid. Also because I think Eid is next month, so it would be really great to read it in spirit of the holiday. So yeah, I did break my book buying ban just to order this book because I was really intrigued by it. So the next 3 books I have borrowed from my library's e-library. I was really struggling to find a book that was non-fiction to meet the non-fiction prompt because I didn't want to just read any old thing, and I also didn't want to have to buy yet another book, especially if it wasn't one I was sure I was going to like. So I've got these books checked out from the library. 2 of them are poetry collections and 1 of them is a memoir, so I'll talk about the memoir first. It is The Boy with the Topknot by Sathnam Sanghera. This memoir is just about him growing up in the UK, specifically Wolverhampton, so I was really excited by that because he's like a local author. It's about him growing up during a time when there weren't a lot of brown faces in schools for kids of his age as well, so I'm really interested to see his experiences. So the first of the poetry collections I've got checked out is Songs of Love and War. This is a collection of poetry, I think it's by Afghanistan women or about Afghanistan women and the things that they've gone through and things about their life. It is a translated work. I think it was originally translated from Persian, then into French and into English, and the collection is edited by Saeed Majrouh. I'm not 100% sure if I will like it, especially because it's a translated twice work, so I don't know how well it will translate, but we'll see. I'm trying to get into poetry collections a little bit more, especially since I've recently read a book written in verse, so it's something I'm really excited about. Okay, and the last book on my Asian Readathon TBR is Antiemetic for Homesickness by Romalyn Ante. She is a Filipino poet who emigrated to Wolverhampton. I think she also is an NHS nurse, and I think her poetry is just about her experiences as being a nurse and also an immigrant in Wolverhampton. I'm really excited about this one. Yet another local author, and also I think the cover is absolutely beautiful. So that was my Asian Readathon TBR. Here's all the physical books that I can show you at the end of this video, and then I don't know, I'll just pop up some of the ebooks that I'm planning to read. I'm sure editing me will love doing that. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if I'll be able to get through all of these books this month. There is quite a lot of them. Some of them are quite chunky, some of them are only really short. So I'm going to try and mix it up quite a lot and prioritise this TBR, and then everything else that I might be wanting to read this month will have to take a back burner. I'm in a bit of a reading slump at the moment, so I'm hoping that this exciting TBR will motivate me to get some reading done. I will leave a link in the description to Cindy's video explaining more about the readathon and how you can get involved. That's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you would like to see more of my videos, please feel free to subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you're going to be participating in the Asian Readathon and what you're thinking about reading next month, and I will see you soon. Bye!